What's going on, fam? It's your boy Juggle972 here. So I haven't posted on here for a little while. Just life's been busy, and it's a beautiful, beautiful full moon out tonight, though. I don't know if you can see it though, but it's beautiful. It's kind of odd too. Pardon my somberness though, but earlier today though, I don't know if you saw my post. If you follow me on Instagram or just saw my community post. So today my family and I, myself, and we ended up having to put down the guardian of the backyard. I introduced y'all to him through my shorts, Rocky, the ginger cat, the little little farm cat that we had. Today was definitely one of the most heartbreaking, but at the same time, most relieving things that today brought to me. I'm gonna tell you why. Number one, found out Ole Rocky was diagnosed with feline AIDS and leukemia. And another thing I also learned today too was the fact that with cats, leukemia is viral, not technically how it is with humans. So yeah, it was quite a surprise too, and it's funny because today I wasn't expecting, he had been lethargic for about 5 or 6 days and whatnot though, and the unfortunate thing was he had no vaccine records right now. Currently right now I'm sitting down on the little chair that he's been sleeping on for the past 2 weeks, a little bit longer than that. And today was both, as hard as it was today though, I got something out of today. So I went by myself to go have him put down. Originally they were going to put him down though because he didn't have any kind of vaccination records. Because had we would have put him for him to be put down though, we would have had him quarantined for 10 days because he didn't have any records for vaccines for rabies or anything else. So they really couldn't track it down. So they suggested that we would have to quarantine him for 10 days and then have him basically, safely put down. Well, I ended up, finding another place that actually would safely put him down. And, as heartbreaking as it was, the part of me that was a medical professional, kind of came out today and just understood, the reasons for these things, though, because the first doctor that I talked to today, though, that was going to put him down, really wanted to actually do it, though, because he was suffering. But unfortunately, he had to follow SOP, and so ended up having to bring him back home. And when we brought him back home, what we ended up doing though was we were getting ready to get him ready for a quarantine, but my mom also realized that he's not going anywhere. He doesn't leave the backyard, specifically with him feeling this way. So we decided to let him come out of the backyard for one last time, and what I thought wasn't going to be the one last time, until I called another place, and this place would end up okaying this. And I didn't want to stall because us humans, we treat animals than we do our own kind. And with that, it was like, both as a medical professional in most recent years, after the things that I've seen, it made it a lot easier for me to accept that and not want to let him suffer. And because of that, though, it both made today both easier and harder. And let me tell you, man, I'd never really truly put a pet down beforehand, but I've seen enough of my own family die as well, and this also kind of brings back, to the things I saw during the pandemic as well. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse or anything though, but it has a reason for these things. Today, I bawled. I don't know, my eyes are still red though. I bawled my eyes out today because I love that boy. He loved us and he lived like a king, no doubt about it. He was the guardian of the estates. So when he finally passed, I got to spend a lot of time with him by myself, and I looked in his eyes like during the last injections, and I got to tell you though, I'd never really seen that kind of, connection suddenly go to that 1,000-yard stare to just completely blank. It was a scrap. As much as he was a scrapper, though, once he was gone, he already passed away. I took the time and I picked him up and I cradled him in my arms because he would never let me do that whenever he was alive, because he didn't like that kind of thing though. But I had always wanted to cradle him, and I took that opportunity to cradle him for just a little bit though, and just give him a kiss on his forehead and just say, not necessarily, say my goodbyes with him though, but I had already said my goodbyes to him, while he was getting prepped up. But it was more of a see you later though, because I plan on seeing him someday. I think we all are, especially the ones that pass away. But more importantly though, the importance of this video though also gave me Rocky gave me a gift. And that gift was forgiveness. And what do I mean by that? Well, during the pandemic, whenever I was working at the university hospital, and I was doing as a phlebotomy technician, drawing blood from people who basically, the majority of the patients that I took care of, they would either die either in front of me, or they would die whenever I would leave. And it really, really, really got to my mental health for a few years. I ended up, during that time though, this was a couple years back. This was at the height of COVID Delta, just to give you a time frame. And during that time, the hardest thing about that, I'm still looking for him, by the way. I think he's still around. But the hardest thing about that though was just having this survivor's guilt. And I talked to a few friends of mine, who've been in the military, and I've had friends, who worked in the medical field as well that have just dealt with stuff like that though. I really didn't have much of an outlet for that kind of thing though. But today, whenever I was able to bring Rocky to his euthanization, the one thing that Rocky gave me today was forgiveness. He gave me forgiveness for myself today, because for years during the pandemic, after just having this survivor's guilt and this dark cloud over me for years at a time, it wouldn't go away. And there would just be times, where I'm just reminded for those kind of memories too, and just always beat myself up for not being able to do anything about it though. Today, I felt like I had the opportunity to actually be there for something to happen, because when I was in there, saying goodbye to old boy over there, and after, just purging my emotions after all that though, the one thing that I realized today is that Rocky gave me some forgiveness, because I finally had the opportunity to actually be there for something or someone. I mean, I'm still looking for him sometimes. I got so used to being him back here. But yeah, today though, I was able to really kind of get forgiveness from all that, because I dealt with that for the past few years though. And what sucked so much about it though was I felt like I couldn't do anything about it either. But today, it definitely gave me a gift today. Rocky gave me forgiveness, and he gave me the strength to kind of feel better about myself in that sense too, because when you work in the medical field and stuff like that, specifically during that time, it was hard on all of us. And Rocky came at the time after I left the university hospitals. And to sum it up though, Rocky was a gift to my family. He was a gift to me. He was a gift to all of us. My mom loved him like no other. He was my he was my mom's favorite cat. put it this way. But you know, your animals are more than or just your pets. They are your family. So treat them right. Treat them right too. Treat everybody else, you know, good with that as well, because in today's society, though, we don't treat each other nearly as good as we should because we're so divided, whether opinion-wise or politically, whatever it is. I won't get into that. But I was given a gift today, and that was the gift of forgiveness. Something I don't have to feel guilty about anymore. I can start, you know, really healing from that too. So, love your animals, love your fur babies, love them to their ending days too, and always take the things that they gave you with them and bring them elsewhere too. I'm still looking for them back here too, so I miss them like hell. And that's it though. Thank y'all for listening. Much love. Peace. God bless. Be good to each other. Rest in peace, Rocky, my booger. I love you, boogers. That's just Rocky. I love y'all, man. Peace.